one of the questions I get the most about this is, why on earth did you do this? And I have absolutely no experience with miniatures, except for the fact that I think they're cute. And I just remember one night I was sitting on the couch and kind of like browsing around eBay, and I found these little filing cabinets. And they were brown wood, and I thought, oh, that's really cute. I bet I could make a little basement office with those. So I actually went online and I was like, somebody has had to have done this before, and I was right. So there's actually an original little basement office out there that someone made. I can't remember the link to it, but it was actually way more in depth. She had like Scully's little area and more of like the side room, which I have not made. So, and she had links to a couple of things she had purchased. So I remember this desk, I think is one of the links she had. So I think I purchased that next, and I was kind of thinking, this is going to cost $1 million. Like, there's no way I could really make a miniature of everything. But it came together easier than I thought. Like, I was surprised at this chair, which is pretty awesome. Like, it was so easy to find something that looked like a leather chair. The little Jefferson table, if you can see back here. The thing about this thing is, once you touch something, everything else falls down. But this little table here is a pretty accurate replica of what the bookshelf is on. I made the bookshelf out of balsa wood and painted it. And I know that the one on the show has like glass panels in the front, but there was no way I would be able to do that. So after I kind of got the filing cabinets and the Jefferson table and the chair and the desk, and had ideas for what to do with the bulletin boards, I thought, oh my goodness, the credenzas are like the two things that, one, they have to look good to make this seem at all accurate, and two, there's no way I would ever be able to make those. So I was playing around on Etsy, and I found this woman, Patsy, who makes amazing mission-style furniture, kind of like Mad Men era. And all I did was I sent her a picture of the office, and I circled each credenza and said, do you think that you could make a replica of these? And she was amazing. She's like, oh sure, I'll have them done in about a week. So like 2 weeks later, bam, little tiny credenzas. And I remember I sent my husband the picture of them when they arrived, or she sent me a picture of what they look like. And he actually thought I was just sending him a picture of office furniture. They look so good. So thank you to Patty on Etsy for those. And then, what else? So, a little lamp, keep the chairs out of the way, actually has a little light, which is kind of fun. And these little things here, how to touch this without knocking everything over. Printed these just on regular paper, and I found a tutorial online on how to make little newspapers, and then just kind of Mod Podged it so that it was a little more sturdy. Move this out of the way. Okay, so now here's the part where I'm going to knock everything down. Look at the bulletin board over here. So something I really need to work on is actually making the office messier. I know like in the show they have a lot of rolled papers up on the filing cabinets and stuff, which I still need to work on. Everyone always says it looks too clean. So for the bulletin boards, I've just kind of improvised on some stuff. Obviously I have a picture of the guy from Fire, the mugshot that comes out of printer. I put up a little newspaper clipping of Yappy when the actor passed away. I thought that was a nice little tribute. these pictures are pretty accurate from what's on the show. I think the actual seal is a real Federal Bureau of Investigation and the one on the show is not real, but it's close. And here's the moonwalk photo. Just kind of stuck an Elvis picture in there for the fun of it. And then, like, the thing about decorating the bulletin board is, you know, I can have some level of detail, but once it's printed out, you can't really see much, so I just kind of started focusing on trying to make it look cluttered. There's some more newspapers and some books. And if you look on the show, you can see kind of where the wall juts out a bit. Pretty proud of my accuracy there. There actually is a little lip that comes out of the wall. Wasn't really sure how I would get the ceiling tiles around it, but it worked out. So here on the bookshelf, if I can knock everything down. Ooh. Is the little Holy Cow book that I made. This actually isn't the original one that's in the photos that David Duchovny was so sweet to post, because the original one got thrown away in the garbage. But that's okay, because then by the time I made new ones, the book was out, so I was able to use the back. And it actually does have pages in there, which do not have any words on them. And I had two of these, but I brought one to David Duchovny's book signing, and just kind of put it down like I was expecting him to sign it. And he was super sweet, and he remembered what it was, and then he took it. So I'm sure that is in a Barnes & Noble trash can somewhere, but he was super sweet about it. And I also, Johnny's up here. Monster Hand destroying the office. Okay, here it is. Here's Jillian's book. I wasn't quite as experienced, I guess you'd call it, at making tiny books when I made hers, so hers looks a little less accurate. It was hard too because with the printer to get the level of detail that's on the cover as opposed to David's, which is black and white. And of course, the poster, which I just found a photo online. And I'm not really sure as far as the accuracy, but it changed so many times on the show that, you know, what can you do? Here is and if anyone has any questions, please ask. Oh, it's so hard to see. Okay, so this is Scully's thesis, which I cannot get it to focus. But I found a screenshot of the title page and then just printed it out on paper. I made the file folder cover by cutting up pieces of my daughter's, the packaging that an Easter bunny came in, like this, you know, the plastic front. So I just cut that, 2 pieces, and then the edge is construction paper that's Mod Podge to look like a little plastic binding. And the kind of Bigfoot-esque person that you see on the bulletin board here, that is pretty accurate from the show. I was able to find that picture and print it out. The UFO magazine cover is not the actual cover that you see, but it just kind of was enough, accurate enough. And there is some kind of crop circle-esque thing, but I couldn't find an exact photo of that here, so I just kind of made that. And the little newspaper clipping that you see right here is what I used when we all found out that the X-Files will be returning. Just to kind of keep it in their universe, I made it as if the X-Files were reopening by the FBI. This is an accurate photo that I found of a lone gunman newspaper cover. And the planet is not the actual planet that's on the bulletin board on the show, but it's close. Oh, and then people kept saying that I needed to have a photo. Okay, chair's stuck. Hang on. I'm just gonna move this. Of Mulder and Scully on the bulletin board, but it is so hard to make it at all recognizable. So in the corner is a tiny picture of Mulder and Scully on their bulletin board, which is the picture that I believe Skinner finds in the office, but it's not very easy to see. What time is it? Okay. So, there's a couple more little things here on the desk. I'll try to move this back into the frame. I don't think that they ever had a succulent in the office, but I went to a dollhouse show, like a miniature expo here in Los Angeles, and it was me and like 45 women over 80, but it was a lot of fun. And I saw this and I just couldn't resist it, so I got it. And I actually think I need to update the phone, because in the beginning he did have just like a rotary type phone, but by the end, you know, he had a fancy 90s dial set. Here's the nameplate. This is one of my favorite pieces in here, because I really had okay, it keeps going in and out of focus. I really had no idea how I was going to do that. And then I just sort of got the idea to use shrink plastic. Having kids has really helped with this process, because they have so many little crafts and toys that you can repurpose for other reasons. So I took some of the Shrinky Dink paper, cut it to make hard plastic, glued it together, and then this I just made online. Made it in Photoshop, sorry, and then printed it. Here's a little tiny picture of Samantha, which is not going to focus. There we go. And that's also made out of shrink plastic, the frame is, and then I just painted it black. Sunflower seeds. So I looked online and it said that the seeds were a combination of a David's bag and Spitz brand, which I guess is an actual brand, which is kind of a gross name. So I found a picture of it and printed it on regular paper. I kind of fudged the back and just like found like a nutritional information picture. I don't even know why I bother with this, because you never see this, but it was just kind of fun. Found the nutritional information, photoshopped the back to kind of make it fit the rest of the bag, and then I put some modeling clay inside of it to kind of give it some, to give the illusion that there was actually stuff inside the bag. And then Mod Podged it and crimped the edges like with my fingernails. There is little sunflower seeds. Oh, I forgot. Pat asked about Mulder's videotapes. And here's Mulder's little drawer. These are all actual VHS. I should thank the person. I have no idea who they are, but someone on the internet took their VHS tapes and photographed the fronts and the backs. And I'm sure when they did that at the time, they had no idea that someone would use that for this purpose, but came in very handy. So the videotapes all have fronts and backs. I used a template